In this video, we're going to be working with unit rates and tables. And from that table, we're going to be able to write an equation that works for any of the numbers. So, often with our equations, we use values of x and y. X is typically the top of your table, and y is usually your bottom value. So these are our variables that we can plug in any one of those numbers for, and it should give us y if we've done it correctly. So first I'm going to find the unit rate of this table. We know that this is the amount of shirts sold, and this is the amount of money that was collected. So for 3 shirts sold, they earned $60. But how much is 1 shirt? So, dollars per shirt. So they had $60 for 3 shirts. 60 divided by 3, that gives me $20 per shirt. So $20 for 1 shirt. This is our unit rate. Now, money collected is y, and shirts are x. So, when I write these equations, I'm going to write it as y equals kx. K is our unit rate. Now, 20 over 1, we know that we can say that as just 20. So if I take my unit rate and replace the variable of k, I have an equation that works for any one of these. So if I rewrite this equation as y equals 20x, remember, when variables are written next to a number, that means you're multiplying. So if I were to take any x, plug it in, I'll get my y, or shirts sold. These are your independent variables, and these are your dependent variables. The dependent variable depends on what you put in the equation. So I'm going to take this 5, plug it in for x. So y equals 20. And instead of x, I'm writing 5. Parentheses are another way that we can write multiplication. So I have now 20 times 5. That gives me 100. So now y equals 100. So for 5 shirts sold, they collected $100. I'm now going to take 8 for my x. Same equation, y equals 20, but instead of x, I'm writing 8. So if I solve it out, 2 times 8, 16. Throw in a 0. Y equals 160. That means they collected $160. Here, we're given the y value. We can still plug that into our equation. Remember our equation's over here. So we take y and write 180 equals 20x, because we don't know x. Now, 20 is being multiplied by x. I'm going to use the inverse operation, the opposite of multiplication, to find it. I'm going to divide this by 20, divide this by 20. So 180 divided by 20, 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. Zeros cancel each other out. 20s also are canceled. X. So 9 equals x. So they sold 9 shirts here. Last spot. How much do they earn for 12 shirts? I'm going to plug in 12 for my x into my equation. So y equals 20. And instead of x, I write 12. 12 times 2, that gives me 24. Throw in my 0. Y equals 240. So the amount of money collected, $240. The goal with these is to find your unit rate, create your equation, and plug in those values so that you can solve to find your x or y. your dependent or independent variables.